We surrender all to you. Do what you want to, do what you want to. God, we long to see you move. Do what you want to, do what you want to. We surrender all to you. You are my healing. Our love is the air that I'm breathing. I have a future, my eyes are open. It's when you call my name. I ran out of the grave. Out of darkness into your glorious day.
Welcome to Lakeshore Community Church. Welcome to Hope Sunday. He says this: some suggest a connection with the verb hop, meaning leaping in expectation. Hope is so strong in my life that I can't wait for tomorrow. I'm leaping. I'm hopping out of bed in the morning. By adding one letter, we make this new word, hopportunity. Hopportunity. I haven't trademarked it yet, but hopportunity, this is my new word for the day. Take this home with you. Live it out. This is Elizabeth Levette. Would you please make her feel welcome today?
I was one of 5 girls, and my father was minister of the church, and my mother was very active in the church as well. I was brought up in a faith-based family, and
Married at a late stage in life.
late stage.
You were
I was 18 years old.
You were
when I was
18 years old,
yes,
married.
very young, yes.
Okay, started a family.
Yes, well actually before I even started the family, about a year after we were married, I had an ectopic pregnancy due to endometriosis. And because the endometriosis and the scar tissue was so bad, the doctor said the chances of me ever having a child were like next to impossible. They said it wasn't going to happen. If I almost lost my life actually at that point, and they said that if I got pregnant again, I would probably lose my life. So
what did you decide to do in that?
pray and have 6 kids. But I knew God was good, and you know, this was the faith I was brought up on. So, this is Matthew, Jonathan, James, Andrew, Jordan, and Jason, and my husband Robin.
Pictured here at the bottom of the screen. This is Jason. There's Mommy and Jason together.
Yes, so Jason's my youngest, and he was born February 3rd, 1996. And go for another test here and another here and call in another doctor, let's call in another, let's get another opinion. Nobody's seen anything like this. Nobody knows what's going on. And then finally, it was the Friday before Christmas, and they called us in. They said, we want you to talk to, you know, this one doctor. He might have an idea and whatever. They had about 6 doctors in the room, and a whole bunch of nurses, probably about 6 or 8 nurses in the room as well. And the one doctor pulled out the file and he'd been looking at it and looked at his CAT scans and said, you know, I think we have narrowed it down. We think it falls under the umbrella disease of leukodystrophy. But it is a really horrible disease. And he went on to tell us how bad this disease was. And then he said it again. And again. And he repeated himself 6 times. And I'm starting to wonder, why does he keep telling me this over and over again? Why does he keep explaining it to us? And then I realized, he thinks I don't understand. He thinks I'm not following. And so I said, I've got it. And he said, no, you can't possibly get it. You cannot possibly have any idea of how bad this disease is, because if you did, you'd be on the floor screaming and crying, and you would not be standing here, you know, and talking like this and whatever. And I said to him, I said, you know, I have a great faith in modern medicine. They're making advances every day. They're making changes. They can make discoveries. You never know what's going to happen. But I said, when that fails, I have an even greater faith in God and His ability to do miracles. And He is in control. And none of us know how long we've got. None of us know what's in store for our future, only God. And I guess I shut him up. as he stopped talking, there was dead silence in the room for about 10 minutes. I think nobody knew what to say next. And we went home, and I just grabbed my little baby Jason out of the car seat and held him in my arms and lay down on the couch. And I stayed there all day Friday and all day Saturday. I didn't even get up to go to church. And I'm still on the couch on Sunday. And then Sunday afternoon, we heard some noise outside and heard the dog barking. And Rob got up and looked out, went to the door and looked out the window. And he said, Elizabeth, you gotta come see this. So that's what got me up off the couch. And I got up and went and looked out the window, out the door. There were two big green garbage bags and a note attached. So went out, pulled in the garbage bags and looked to see what was inside. It was Christmas presents for my 6 boys. Clothes, toys, things in their sizes pretty much, things that little boys would like, and an envelope attached with $200 cash in it, and an unsigned note that said, please buy Christmas presents for your kids. Anyway, and that at that point, that really showed that God was seeing every little need, and God was taking care of the fine details. Even though I really wasn't in the mind to do it, God cared about the details.
Some sort of a life expectancy?
Yes, by the time he was a year old, and he's still at 10 pounds at a year old, and they said that we've narrowed it down to infantile plesiosmersbacher leukodystrophy. So now we had figured out which type he had. And
sorry, can you say that again?
we spell it backwards. My boys could spell it backward when they were like this high. Anyway, yeah, infantile plesiosmersbacher leukodystrophy. Okay, got
That's
it?
what I thought you said, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, and because he had the early onset of it, he was born with it, they gave him a 2 years tops life expectancy. It was very scary because I'm feeling like his days are numbered. We don't know how long he's got. You know, instead of wanting to rejoice and celebrate the landmark of the 2nd birthday, we're kind of holding back a little bit, like, okay, is he going to make it there? Is he going to make it?
Right, when the phone, you ever had the season of life when you're afraid the phone will ring because of what it's going to be? Like, you choose faith or fear. You choose to hope every day. Okay, so the 2 years came and went.
Yes.
You still had him.
Still had him.
Then he turned 3,
Mm-hmm.
4, 5. What was life like for Jason?
Oh, Jason was full of life. He loved life. He loved everybody. He loved people. He was, he always laughed, loved to hear music, loved to sing and dance, loved to be with his brothers, loved to watch them play hockey, loved to watch them play basketball or soccer or whatever else. He would root them on. He'd watch the Leafs with them and root them on even if they weren't going to win. And sorry.
Poor kid.
Yeah. He still had hope, you know. Opportunity. But his first word was when he was 4.5 years old, and his first word was mommy. And I still get tears when I think about that because I waited so long to hear mommy and finally heard his sweet voice saying mommy, and it just, well, it was a blessing. It was a God-given thing.
So he grew 6 years old, 7 years old, then he turned 9 years old.
9, yes. He didn't skip 8. But anyway. Maybe he just needs to go back to school, right, and learn his numbers, right? Like, boys can always pay attention to those things, right? I'm a mom of boys, I know these things. Anyway, sorry.
So maybe,
Sorry.
just you're new here, so we'll just let you know. I tell the jokes. I'm sorry, Troy. So he was 9 years old.
9, yes.
Things took a turn.
Yes, so ran into Jason's room, called, you know, for my son Andrew and whoever else to, you know, come nearby, whatever. And I'm trying to sit Jason up, trying to get him breathing and whatever else, and he's gasping for air. And I'm worried about whether or not the ambulance is going to make it there on time, and they're trying to talk me through it and everything else. Anyway, so then Jason spent the next couple of weeks in pediatric intensive care. This is Jason with a couple of his cousins, Melissa and Stephanie. Normally they didn't even allow kids under 16 in there, but because he was in pediatric intensive care and they didn't think he was going to make it, they allowed them in. Anyway, and you can see how happy Jason was to see his cousins. He loved kids, he loved his cousins, loved his brothers, loved people. Just loved everybody. He would blow kisses to people, like, just because he just loved people so much. And so we spoke to the kids. We asked them, what do you want to do? And they unanimously said, we want Jason home. Jason hated hospitals. He really did not like being at McMaster. And the boys knew that, and they knew that he wanted to be with his family, with people who loved him. So we brought him home.
October the 1st, 2005,
Yes.
Jason passed into eternity. Everybody knew Jason.
Yes, the whole town knew Jason. They allowed, the high school and the grade school allowed kids to attend, students and teachers to attend the funeral. The high school, the grade school, the police department, the fire hall, the post office, all those things, they had their flags at half-mast all throughout the town. There were, those billboard signs with the lettering spelling, "We remember Jason," and things like that, all throughout the town. And it was just amazing to see the support of the town. Everybody loved Jason. Everybody knew him. He was just, people were so excited to see him wherever he went because he had so much love and so much joy.
So I see in you my word opportunity. I see you as, you've always been a bubbling, joyous person, and I just still see that in you, having come through this whole chapter. Meanwhile, the other boys didn't stop growing.
No, they're all bigger than me.
And this was taken this past summer.
Yes, in August.
And I think I got one of you and your
That's in
mistress,
September.
Elizabeth and
Yeah,
Rob.
last month. So,
Yeah. What one thing would you say to somebody who's going through a tough chapter?
The one thing is that I have learned to be true is that God has promised never to leave us or forsake us.
Amen.
He is there with us every step of the way. And all we have to do is lean on Him and let Him hold us up with His mighty hand. And His hand, He loves us so much, we're carved in the palm of His hand, it says. He's there. He will give you strength. He will comfort you if you lean on Him and look to Him and seek Him. Dig into the Word. That's probably one of the biggest things I would say is dig into the Word, because your faith comes from hearing the Word of God. So dig into it. Read it out loud so you can hear it. Meditate on it.